просто расслабься, если. Просто делай свою жизнь. Нет, скинул руку. Есть. 1-0.
The stats are 1 submission attempt, 1 submission.
Bro, he's got a crushing squeeze. Well,
It's different, bro. It's different. Yeah. He strangled me. And the way he did it, I think he, Moicano filled in last minute to fight Islam and got caught with the same choke. It's kind of like a Darce choke, but he locks it on his forearm.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to the bicep.
I know.
And the squeeze is different. He's pulling to his chest. It's not like a angle squeeze. It's different. So the defense is different. When I got my legs out and tried to walk around, he hooked my leg, but like the squeeze is completely different. Completely different. You know, you belly down and kind of get some space to breathe. You can't the way he does it.
Craig Jones broke it down.
It's like a front choke, almost like a squeeze to your chest. It's not an angle that you use for a normal Darce choke.
I know. I was shocked the first time I saw him do it. I was like, maybe he just like couldn't cinch up the bicep. And then I saw him do it a second time. I was like, no, this guy's trying to do it that way. He grabs right here, right?
Yeah. And
Craig Jones
pulls
did
to
an
his
awesome
chest.
breakdown of it on YouTube where he explains why it's effective and what's so good about it.
And when he gets the grip locked in, like it's complete, immediate blood shutdown. You know, usually you feel it slowly fading away. It was like right away.
Wow, so that dude's got a back.
Like the whole started
drive-through movie on.
The darkness started coming in like as soon as he got the grip.
Really?
Yeah.
He's so fucking strong, man. There's like something.
And now when it comes to this fight, because like I said at the top of the video, I actually think Ian Garry has a really good chance in this fight. And it pains me to say that as someone that, again, I need to stress this. I fucking hate Ian Garry. Have I mentioned that in this video? And I'm a fan of Islam Makhachev, okay? But I just need to be real. I feel like Islam Makhachev is playing with fire by not having turned right around. He got offered a fight at UFC 324 after blobbing JDM, taking 0 damage, and moving up to 170, so it's not even this massive weight cut for him now. He clearly bulked up and filled out into the division, but still, it's not the same as cutting to 155 and turning right around, and he turned it down for whatever reason, right? We don't know. He got offered the White House card, apparently turned that down due to injury. And now we're hearing all these rumors that he's going to be back at UFC 330. Again, I'm going to build that card later on in the video. But I feel like he's given these guys a lot of time to improve. He's given Leon Edwards, what's this kid's name? Carlos Prates, Ian Garry, even Michael Morales, even though I don't think he should be in the conversation. He's given all of these guys time to get fights and get better, and they're younger than him, they're hungrier than him. And the biggest thing for me that concerns me about Islam Makhachev in this division is I feel like I'm seeing a pattern right now in the weight class, and I'm going to point it out to you. And it makes me sad to accept this as a JDM fan, but there is just a certain build that is dominating this weight class right now, and it is the tall, lanky, well-rounded strikers. Okay? Listen to this fucking theory. Look at the top 5. Ian Garry, Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, and then JDM and Bilal Muhammad, who have lost to these guys, basically. You know what I'm saying? Think about what I'm telling you, right? Ian Garry, tall, lanky striker with solid grappling. He beat Bilal Muhammad the exact same way JDM did, except JDM did better, you know, whatever. But stuffed his takedowns, pieced him up. That's a good win. But he gets in there with Carlos Prates and he's able to match his frame and do well against him on the feet, outstrike him, mix in the grappling more effectively than JDM was able to. Ian Garry, with his build and his skill set, is able to beat both the guys that JDM and these guys can beat, like, and Sean Brady and Bilal Muhammad, these guys can beat, right? But also is able to beat the other tall, lanky, like mutants at 170 like Carlos Prates. Same with Carlos Prates, dude. This shit is fucking unfair, bro. This guy's massive. I saw this guy in person. It was like a fucking Arkham boss battle started when this guy jumped around the cage. He can handle grappling. We saw it against Leon Edwards. We saw it against JDM. We saw it against Ian Garry. He stuffed basically all of his takedowns. And on the feet, he's like fucking prime Anderson Silva.
The clock is ticking, and Makhachev isn't wasting any time preparing for the challenge of his life. As his much-anticipated bout with Garry nears, the undisputed champion is putting everything he has into an extremely hard training camp where he works on all areas of his game. But this is not the only thing about which many people have been talking lately. The videos that have surfaced from his camp, the top-level coaches who are helping him, and his approach to the upcoming battle have attracted much attention. So what has the champion been working on? Is this going to give him the edge over Garry? We are going to find out.
Announce Islam versus Ian Garry. My initial take on this was, oh man, it's such, who's going to beat Islam? You need a guy that has that one-shot knockout power who's going to catch him. Nobody's beating Islam by decision. But in what we've seen this year with Strickland, Hamzat, Justin, Ilya, all these crazy upsets, buddy, I'm not counting Ian out. I'm not counting him out. No way.
No.
Ian Machado Garry, I mean, he's talented as all fuck. I'm not one of those guys who's just going to jump on Islam and glaze him. Like, hell no. That's a great fight.
You have the 170 pulled up.
How do you feel like he matches up with Islam Makhachev?
He does well with Islam on the stand-up because he's rangy, he's tricky, all those. But on the ground, he doesn't. He does okay, but he doesn't survive on the ground. I don't think. I mean, well, okay, he might survive 5 rounds, but he won't get the best of Islam on the ground. That I'm 100% sure about that. On the stand-up, he's pretty tricky. So one punch can change everything on that. One kick, one punch, one knee. So that's a different story. But on the ground, I don't see him dominating. I see him surviving possibly. So yeah, I could see that. But and then the takedown defense that he has is decent, but not great enough to stop Islam from taking him down. But again, sometimes we'll go in there and we'll decide that we're gonna do this with Islam, and next thing you know, next round we'll say, okay, take him down now, or next thing you know, next round we'll go stand up because he's that good.
When you and I have spoken about Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry, what do you make of that matchup?
That's a great fight. Look, it's a great fight. Ian Garry for a long time has been saying that, he is the future. Obviously, it's his nickname. Like, he sees himself as being there with the belt. He's visualized it, but now he's got Makhachev in the division. And I mean, Makhachev's got the kryptonite for every single person in the division. No matter where the fight goes, he's got the skills to challenge you and to cause you issues. Like, of course, since Ian Garry's, been spending time in Brazil, been working on his jiu-jitsu, he's going to be far more confident in his ground game. But at the same time, I don't know if you're going to be able to replicate what Islam Makhachev can do to you. I think you would have to be in the wrestling room in Dagestan to really feel that kind of pressure. And what you got to remember is that room right now, we keep signing a bunch of guys from Khabib's team. They're all cookie cutter versions of each other. They're all lethal. They've all got great wrestling. They've all got that pressure style with good punching and kicking now. You know what I mean? There's a really elite level in that gym. And Makhachev's at the top of that pile. Everybody in that gym is working towards where he is, and everybody in that gym's a killer. I just don't know if you're going to be able to find the same kind of look that you're going to need to be able to deal with Makhachev. And I think now he's moved up to welterweight. I just think he looks physically so much healthier and stronger. Ian Garry's a slick striker, but he needs to damage Makhachev. He can't play the 25 minutes of picking and poking.
When Makhachev thought about the most important figures in his success story, there is no doubt that one of the first names to come to mind was Khabib Nurmagomedov. Instead of considering titles and successes within the octagon, Islam reminisced about the relationship that they have had for many years prior to becoming world-renowned athletes. Islam stated that they spent their childhood very close to each other since they lived only a few hundred meters away from one another, and that since an early age, they have been training together all the time. Most importantly, Makhachev stated that he considered Khabib his idol despite his age and success.
Отношения с Хабибом как складывались? Вот бывает зачастую в детстве как? Сначала подерешься и потом уже сдружишься.
Не, Хабиб был у нас как до сих пор старший в зале. На тот период для меня он был старше. У нас разницы нету 1 день или 2 дня, или он чемпион, или не чемпион. Он был просто старшим, который показывал нам огромный пример. Мы с ним и в школе тренировались. Как ты сказал, мы между собой не дрались, но вместе на разборки ходили там за школу, за кого-то там. И вот так мы рядом жили. До того, как я попаду в Абдулманапу, у нас дом, наверное, между собой где-то 300-400 метров находился. Я его уже вот тогда знал. С Хабибом так с первого дня у нас были.
Although he has conquered the sport and reached the peak of his career in MMA, Makhachev claims that his ambition has not diminished in the slightest. Fans tend to assume that it is titles or even fame and wealth that drive his ambition, but Islam clarified that it was actually something else that made him tick. Starting from the special environment in the training camp, up to the sense of pride in pushing himself to the edge and achieving greatness, Makhachev shared the reasons behind his ambition. Instead of protecting a title, he strives to stay at his peak all the time.
Вот это слово «чемпион», оставаться на первой строчке. Знаете, как это, я же всю жизнь этим занимаюсь, и мне просто нравится находиться с командой. Вот сейчас приехали на сборы 30 человек, вот эта атмосфера, она по-любому и в городе не бывает. Вот эти большинство воспоминаний, то, что у меня есть от сборов, это вот когда мы толпой где-то собирались на какой-то базе, вот тренировались, у меня есть много других тоже воспоминаний, но это почти все связано с тренировочными сборами где-то с командой. Ну, вот этого я не хочу терять. И мне это до сих пор нравится. Мне нравится, когда я нахожусь в форме. Мне вот не нравится, когда я бываю не в форме. Где-то что-то болит, где-то что-то неохота, утром вставать неохота. Ну вот, когда ты в форме, не знаю, не могу, наверное, объяснить человеку, кто не был никогда в форме. Но когда ты в форме, это такая вещь, ты в зал заходишь, ты уверенно со всеми работаешь.
However, Makhachev did not forget to give an answer regarding the recent trash talk of Ian Garry, showing that he is not willing to get engaged in the verbal battle. For Islam, keeping silence would just provide room for the rumor to be spread. Therefore, he had to answer in some way. He said that there were no injuries that would prevent him from participating in the match, as there was no contract offered to him back then. Even though Makhachev has an injury in his hand that sooner or later would require surgery, the UFC fighter assured that this does not impact his career in any way.
Довольно провокационно и жестко, и резко, точнее. Цитату в пример приводить не буду, но ты сам понял, наверное, о чем речь. Вот почему ты решил ему ответить не в таком же стиле, а по-спортивному?
Ну, что-то уже, когда ты молчишь, а они болтают, и люди начинают им верить просто в интернете, я думаю. Травма, они уже обо мне переживают, но это так не бывает в UFC. Ты захотел, и ты дерешься на следующем турнире. Прими там бой, я приму, но нет уже контракта. Как я приму? Что я приму вообще? Я им так и ответил. Отправьте контракт, я принимаю любой бой. У меня нет никаких травм. У меня есть старая травма руки, но это после завершения моей карьеры я ее буду оперировать. Но сейчас это не причина, что бои какие-то срывались. Я готов, отправляйте контракт. Вот я сегодня на сборах. Я думаю, в июле я уже буду готов драться.
But Makhachev went one step further by dissecting the reasons why he believes Garry does not present a credible challenge. Referring back to Garry's fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov, Islam suggested that his rival had not yet shown his ability to pose any real threats with his strikes to elite opponents. However, he also referred to the time when Garry attacked what seemed like a weak spot after seeing an opportunity during the fight, but said that Rakhmonov was able to overcome it to conclude the bout. For Makhachev, the fight proved once again that Garry had much more to show.
Согласен ли ты с тем, что арсенал Гарри самое опасное? Это его кик и отбивание колен.
Я не видел так, что он кому-то так сильно колено тоже отбил, что...
Ну, это Шавкат, допустим, у него в бою.
Ну, еще непонятно, это он Шавката травмировал, или не он на Шавкате смог до конца подраться. Значит, незначительная такая травма была в бою, что Шавкат... Я был еще в первом году сидел, помню, они дерутся, и у этого...
на этом бою, да, такой?
Да, Ян Гарри шорты порвал. Вот за эту минуту отдыха ему даже шорты поменяли. Ну, видно было там слабую сторону. Гарри я сразу подумал.
Additionally, despite all the offers that keep coming from the wrestling and grappling scene, it is obvious that Makhachev is not going to divert his attention from MMA. While other champions are looking forward to getting into crossover bouts, Islam believes that his interests are in the right place. Given the number of championship bouts, hard training sessions, and a busy schedule, there isn't any point for him to have his attention divided. Moreover, the fighter mentioned that monetary benefits will not make a difference to his decision. For Makhachev, defending his position on the top of the UFC rankings is much more important than anything else.
Многие бойцы ММА участвуют в разных лигах по вольной борьбе, по грэпплингу устраивают матчи. К тебе уже обращались с таким предложением?
Да, ко мне обращались.
Тебе это интересно?
Не, зачем? Мне хватает чем заниматься, денег хватает, боев хватает чемпионских, так что мне некогда отвлекаться на какие-то там борцовские дрэпы, схватки, потому что можно же травмироваться и все, потом отсидеть полгода вообще без ничего. У меня есть время подраться, подготовиться, делами заняться, там, семьей побыть. Если выступать, например, по той же борьбе, надо же готовиться, опять кемпы проходить, опять куда-то ездить. Так что у меня нет желания.
In another turn of the discussion, Brendan Schaub went on to speculate about the possibilities that will be brought by the end of the fight. Even though he feels that Makhachev is going to be the favorite in this fight, Schaub admitted that a victory from Ian Garry will change everything. As Schaub explains, a victory over Islam will give Garry the chance to have a major showdown against Conor McGregor, especially if he challenges him after winning the fight. However, if Makhachev manages to keep his belt, Schaub doesn't think that McGregor will get a shot at all. Even so, Schaub isn't ready to write Ian Garry off. Looking at the matchup, he admitted his first reaction was that Makhachev seemed almost impossible to beat, arguing that anyone hoping to dethrone the champion would likely need fight-ending power because winning a decision against him is an enormous challenge. But after seeing a string of shocking upsets across MMA this year, Schaub believes anything is possible. Rather than dismissing Garry, he praised the Irish contender's skill set and insisted this is a far more competitive fight than many fans are giving it credit for, making it a matchup worth taking seriously. Adding on, Dan Hardy also sees the matchup as a fascinating test, but he believes the biggest obstacle standing in Ian Garry's way is Islam Makhachev's complete skill set. While he acknowledged Garry has made major strides by sharpening his jiu-jitsu and preparing for every scenario, Hardy argued that nothing truly replicates the relentless pressure Makhachev brings. In his view, the champion's wrestling, striking, and suffocating control make him a nightmare for anyone at welterweight. Hardy also pointed to the elite Dagestani training system behind Makhachev, saying the level of competition in that room has helped create a champion unlike anyone else in the division. Hardy also believes the move to welterweight has made Makhachev even more dangerous, saying he looks stronger, healthier, and better suited to the division. As for Garry, Hardy feels his technical striking alone won't be enough, insisting he'll need to inflict real damage early because simply outpointing Makhachev over 5 rounds is an unrealistic strategy. If Ian Garry wants to pull off the biggest win of his career, Javier Mendez believes there's one place he absolutely cannot afford to end up. While Garry's striking has earned plenty of praise, Mendez sees a massive gap once the fight hits the canvas. In his eyes, Makhachev's wrestling and submission game are simply operating on a different level, making the ground a dangerous place for any opponent. With both fighters preparing for a championship clash, Mendez made it clear he doesn't believe Garry has the tools to survive if Islam is able to impose his grappling game. So who do you think comes out on top in this matchup? Let us know your pick in the comments below. Do you see Garry pulling off the upset, or is Makhachev just too much for him? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe for more fight analysis, updates, and future match coverage. Stay tuned for more debates, predictions, and big UFC moments.